So many people suffer from sore throats this time of year, certainly with the weather. But for some people, it could be a symptom of something much more serious. They could have what's known as silent reflux. Joining me now to explain what it is and the treatment is Dr. Kalpana De Pasquale from St. Augustine Ear, Nose, and Throat. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year, since I haven't seen you since the holiday. I appreciate you coming in. So, silent reflux, what is that? I mean, we've all heard of acid reflux. Is it the same thing?
So it is basically the same thing, but the symptoms can be a little bit different. Traditional acid reflux is where people will have acid that goes up into the esophagus causing heartburn. In this kind of reflux that I treat, people have different symptoms: difficulty swallowing, feeling like they have to close throat clear, feeling slim things in their throat, or like a hand is around their throat. So the symptoms are a little bit different.
And do those symptoms then persist, or they're just one day and then they, based on what you're eating or something, come back another day? I mean, when do you decide that you need to go see somebody about it?
Usually it's persistent. So the people that come see me will have these symptoms for usually a period of several weeks or even several months.
And do children get these kinds of symptoms then also? Do they frequently get silent reflux?
They can, but I think it may be more underdiagnosed in children just because they don't give as good of a history as adults do. So.
And so it sounds like the symptoms can be similar to heartburn. So how do you know the difference?
Well, how we know the difference is mostly because you'll have different symptoms. So you won't just get a transient heartburn symptom. You'll have persistent symptoms of, like I said, the throat clearing, the difficulty swallowing, things that don't go away. So at that point, we need to do further evaluation.
And talking about that evaluation, there's a treatment that you can do, which is basically kind of sending a camera right down, down someone's throat to look. And we've had some video of you doing this, because some people might think, oh, on camera, do you put me to sleep? What is this like? And they might say, well, forget it. It's a little too overwhelming. And this is a good opportunity then to explain to them that it's not as bad as you might think.
That's right. And in this video, we have a patient that came into the office for, actually, he came in for acid reflux, and he also had a polyp removed from his vocal cords. So we were doing this scope just to make sure that everything was resolving. And it's just very comfortable. He's very calm. He's, he's awake. And it took literally about 30 to 45 seconds.
And so what are you looking for then? I mean, how do you know the difference?
So when I do the exam, what I can see is areas of the vocal cords. There could be redness, there could be swelling, there could be mucus that's collecting. So we see some signs in the vocal cord area that tell us that this is laryngopharyngeal reflux.
Yeah, it's interesting because he doesn't look at all uncomfortable. He's just sitting very still, and you wouldn't even know anything's going on looking at him. So it's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
What are the consequences if you kind of let this go and don't reach out to a doctor?
So the consequences, obviously, it typically will get worse over time if left untreated. Also, we theorize that this could also lead to cancer. Reflux on the larynx over and over again can cause the cells to change on the larynx. So not only will you become more symptomatic over time, you also don't want to cause the cells to change, resulting in precancerous conditions and things like that. And most of all, it may be, sometimes people are told it's acid reflux, but nobody's actually looked. It could be something else. So you want to make sure that you're looking and identifying properly what the problem is.
What is the treatment for silent reflux?
So typically I always talk to patients about diet modification, because that's just number one. Let's not do the things that aggravate it. So that would be smoking, caffeine, spicy foods, and alcohol. Those are the things that aggravate it. And then in addition, sometimes that's not enough, and we may have to prescribe a medication called a proton pump inhibitor to basically reduce the acid exposure in the stomach so that it doesn't come up to the voice box area.
And could that just be temporary then?
Usually I like to make it temporary, because if I talk to patients about diet modification, many times we could just leave the patients on medicine for a little while and wean down as necessary. That's my goal.
So fried foods and things, does that trigger it also? Or spicy foods that you often hear?
Yes,
yes. If you're not used to it?
All of those things. So I recommend a bland diet, at least while we're getting this under control, so people can, just kind of get back to a baseline, get it under control, become asymptomatic, then we can wean down the medication as necessary.
Dr. De Pasquale, thank you very much for being here this morning. Do appreciate it. If you would like more information, you can head to St. Augustine Ear, Nose, and Throat's website. We are posting the link on news4jax.com later this morning. Just look under the morning show page. We'll be right back.